All right, my friends. So we just read two different versions of the same story. Okay, the story that we read was The Princess and the Pea and The Princess and the Poisonous Pea. And now what we're going to do is compare and contrast the two stories. Okay, compare means talk about how they're the same, and contrast means to talk about how they're different. All right, so you've seen this picture before. It's called a Venn diagram, and it's how we compare and contrast two different things. Okay, so if we were in the classroom, I would be passing this paper out to everybody. But since I'm not, I'm just going to need you to get a plain piece of white paper and draw these two circles. Okay, and make sure there's a space in the middle where you can put facts about both of the stories. Okay, we've drawn them before, so you should be able to, or you can get a parent to help you. So if you want to pause the video to give yourself a chance to draw this diagram, go ahead. And then when you come back, we'll get started, okay? Are you ready? Okay, I'm going to get started now. So the first thing you want to do is label each side of your circles so that you know what to write in each circle. So I made the left circle the princess and the pea, which is where I'm going to put all of the points, all of my points that were only in the princess of the pea. And then on the right side, I'm going to write about the princess and the poisonous pea. So that's where I'm going to put all of my points that happened in only the princess and the poisonous pea. Okay, and then in the middle of these two circles is where you put the points of what was the same between the two stories. Okay, so that's where we compare the two stories. Now we're ready to get started. So I just came up with a few examples, but I bet you have so many more that you'll be able to come up with, but I'll get you started. So the first one I came up with is probably the most obvious one to us all because it's right in the title. The pea in The Princess and the Poisonous Pea was poisonous. So that's why I wrote that on the Princess and the Poisonous Pea side. I can't put that on the Princess and the Pea side because the pea wasn't poisonous on that side. So we can't put it in the middle too because that was something that was different about the two stories. Okay? So then I wanted to put something in the Princess and the Pea side. And this next point was something that I just kind of noticed and I thought was interesting, but maybe not everybody noticed it. But in The Princess and the Pea, the queen put 20 mattresses above the little pea on the bed. And then on top of the 20 mattresses, she put feathers too. That's a bunch. On The Princess and the Poisonous Pea, they only put 10, and there were no feathers. So if you wanted to, you could go back to The Princess and the Poisonous Pea side and write that there were only 10 mattresses. Okay? But I decided to just write this one point on the princess and the pea side. I thought that was a little bit interesting, that little difference. Okay, and then I chose to write something that was the same about these two stories. And really, the prince was searching for a real princess in both of the stories, right? The reason I put prince in quotation marks is because the prince wasn't even a real prince on The Princess and the Poisonous Pea, was he? No. So that's why I put that. So um, you could really put the prince was not a real prince on The Princess and the Poisonous Pea side. Okay, that's another one you can put that I didn't put. But basically, the whole point of each version of the story was the same, and that is that the prince was searching for a real princess. Okay? I bet you guys can come up with so many more similarities and differences between these two versions of the story, but I would like you to try and at least get 2 more for each part of the circles. So 2 more points of events that happened in just The Princess and the Pea, 2 more points that happened in just The Princess and the Poisonous Pea, and then 2 more things that happened in both versions of the story. Okay? Good luck, my friends!